Hello and welcome back. On a Wednesday, I talk about visibility and content and your online presence and creating your digital disco and so much of getting your message across to the right people and landing it in a way that's going to feel not only great for you, but great for them as well. This week, I am talking and dedicating a whole series to how my business shifted again about 5 or 6 years ago. Last week I talked about what happened 10 years ago, and then this is the third part of this week. So if you haven't watched part 1 and 2, do go back. And also I've realized, because I turned 43 this weekend, I am in another shift right now, and that hadn't quite dawned on me when I first started mapping out this series. So I'll let you know in like 4 years how this part has been. Interesting. Anyway, we're always evolving, aren't we? So let's talk about what this meant in terms of my visibility and how I was growing my personal brand. Number 1, I have written, it was a real moment of soap opera viewing. What do I mean by this? I think so often we can try and be all the things to all the people, and we're so good at that, especially as women. I'm so versatile, I'm flexible, I can be a bit more of this, and I'll do this, and I'll hold back here. And when you think about soap operas, they're not trying to be anything else. They're exactly what they are. They're following what they set out to be. And this was so key in this part of my life. As I was stretching, as I was increasing my capacity, as I was growing, and as I was learning, I had to keep coming back to what it was I was trying to do, and then just do that. So I realized at this stage, my son, age 3, I was not here to be a parenting blogger. That was not my bag. And the older he's certainly become, the less I talk about my children. And that is not a part of my business. Especially for my son, I don't think it would be something that he would want to be involved in. And also, I just know that I'm not the best person for the job. So I want you to sit with this today and think about your own reflections when it comes to what you're putting out there, the predictability, what you're all about, and really begin to share that. Number 2, don't make people work hard to see you, because they won't. They won't. If they can't find what they're looking for, if they don't see you, it's unlikely they're going to seek you out. You have to go first and put everything out there for sale. You have to guide people back to your website. Gone are the days where people will just Google and your name might happen to pop up. Occasionally that might happen, but that is very, very infrequent in these times. Make it easy, make it simple for people, make it enticing, make sure that people feel supported in the process, and then everything will be easier from there on in. I think when I've had those moments over the last 25 years where things have felt a bit stale, or I get in my head and like, am I ever going to work again? Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I think, have I shared my business recently? Have I shown people how I can help them? Have I talked about my packages? No. Right, go and do that then. Because I'm just assuming people are going to find me, and I'm hiding away, and they're not. They're not. Number 3. What was this that I'm saying? Okay. It's really easy, especially as I, at that time, was in that period of, and as that kind of year went on, having a 3-year-old at home, being pregnant. I had about 50 appointments with Luna because they thought she had lots of complications, which she didn't end up having in the end, but they wanted to check, and I'd had a tricky time with Oscar. So I was in that hospital a lot. And it's so easy to make your world really, really small and just focus on the next thing. And what I tried to do, and some days were easier than others, but I had to keep looking outside of myself. It's so easy, I think, to get consumed by the small things, or, parenting WhatsApp groups. And I know it sounds a bit northern mum, but it's like there are people far worse off than you, or there are people who have figured it out. Who are those people? And so I wanted to include this in visibility because I think sometimes we think, well, I don't have anything to say, or I'm doing this. And actually, there are so many things that you can say. And sometimes they don't have to be extraordinary. Sometimes they're very ordinary indeed. But it's about having that conversation and being in the moment. Number 4, if you are waiting until you get this perfect setup and a film crew and a dictaphone and a auto cue or I don't know why I said dictaphone, but wow, I've really gone back there. Until you get everything perfect, you're kidding yourself, or you're letting yourself off the hook, because you can talk about your business right now. And if you go back to my archive, I don't know if you actually can do that, but I know I can. My archive of 2018, 2019, I was in a dressing gown. And into 2020, talking about my business each and every day, usually with a baby on me, having not slept, feeling a bit discombobulated, but I showed up every single day to connect with people. And some of those years were some of the best business years I've ever had in my life. And I was looking rough. I mean, maybe I should be kinder to myself. I was not looking my best, is what I'm going to say. Actually, there was a loveliness about that, because I was so in the moment. I was so in like newborn babies, and gosh, those hours, those nights, and I was in it all. And I was in a dressing gown, talking with my phone to the internet and welcoming conversations, and it changed my business. So start talking first is what I'm saying. Don't think, well, how am I going to create this enormous project? Start talking first, where you are, where you're up to, and be in conversation. Number 5, I really began to press play and do it. And I think this is the thing with visibility, is people want to think about it. People want to overthink it. People want to do it in their head. And the only way that you're going to be able to test and experiment and have success about being visible is to be visible. And I know that that is so obvious, but I think we can all get so consumed by the early stages. Well, what am I going to talk about? And how many times should I be posting? And is this a blog or is this a video? What branding is in at the moment? How many times a day should I be doing X, Y, and Z? What are the best platforms? They get so stuck in that. And there are times where you have to go, today I'm going to pick a platform, I'm going to share a piece of content, see who responds, see who gets in the conversation, see if anybody sees it. Do I like this platform? Was this an enjoyable experience? That's how you learn. And there are some platforms that I really went for. I really tried to build a relationship with them, but I didn't enjoy it. It didn't work for me. Equally, there are others that really do work for me. So I've done more of that. Have a think about how that lands for you today. If you want help, go to Speak Up. That will help you with your speaking and your visibility. If you want help with your digital disco, so building that online presence, that's a great place to go as well. All the details are in the link down below, and I'll see you next time. Lots of love. Bye.